Okay, so thank you everyone so much for attending these last few weeks of Wizards with Chef Kathy. We super enjoyed them, and if this is your first time, thank you for joining us as well. We always appreciate that you even join the library virtually. So before we get started, as I just mentioned previously, sorry, it's kind of hard to talk in this sometimes. If you can just make sure that your audio stays off so that we can hear Chef Kathy clearly. And also you want to make sure that your video is turned off. Sorry, as you can see in the background here, I'm working in the library today. So there might be a little bit more noise than normal. So I apologize for that. Oh, we've got another person. Wow, we've got a lot more people coming in. So,
Good.
okay, I'm just going to run through it real quick. Hold on one second. Sorry, guys. Okay, so for those that just came in, I'm just going to go over the rules once again if you're new to the program. So we're here with Chef Kathy from Kitchen Wizards. There she is. We're going to make awesome unicorn dip today and dinosaur eggs. But before we get started, I do just want to reiterate, please leave your audio off on your computer so that we can hear her clearly. Also, we are recording this program, so please make sure to have your video turned off. Oh, another one just came in. Oh my goodness. All
That's
the
great.
friends today. That's fantastic. So we are going to do amazing things with Chef Kathy today. But before we get started, I want to just remind you guys, if you haven't registered for Summer Quest, I know it's the end of July, but we are still going until August 11th. So if you've been reading all summer, but you didn't know that we were having a summer program where we've been having awesome virtual programs like this, we are. So you can go to a link that I'll put down in the chat box so you can see. It's wernersville.readsquared.com. You would just go to that link and hit register, and you can log all your reading either by pages or by the time that you're reading. You can earn small prizes. We will have raffle prizes that we'll be going up within the next week. And the thing that I haven't mentioned yet, which I always make sure to mention, is that because you attended this program, you get a secret code. So our secret code for this program is unicorn. So UNICORN, all undercase. You type that into the secret code box on Read Squared once you make an account, and you'll get 50 points towards your reading log. And we've got another one. Goodness gracious. So after that, if you could just make sure that you have typed the amount of adults and amount of children in your household in the chat, just for us to check for stats. And then also if you could type your first name and your age of the children in your household for Chef Kathy. And from there, we're going to go ahead and hand it over to Chef Kathy, and she'll get you started on unicorn dip.
Okay, sounds good. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to those of you who have been here before, and welcome to those of you who are new. The person who has it labeled Cindy Phone, if you can turn off your video too, because it's being recorded, that would be great. And I hope everybody will cook along with these recipes, but you do get a copy of the recipe. So if you don't have the ingredients, you can still watch as we go through the program and then buy them if you like the recipes enough. One thing that I asked was that everybody who participates can put the children's names and their ages in the chat box. So if you go to chat, so we have Sam, Michael, Brooklyn, Flynn. Tell Jillian we're missing her. Jillian's not here. Let me see who else. Aaliyah, Jacob, and Kaylee and Cambria. I think that's it, right? Let me see if anybody else joined in. Okay, so did I get everybody's names? How about Cindy Phone? Who's the child and how old? And
this is one of my first names. I'm Cindy, And we have two. We have
Okay, in the chat box, if you can mute yourself and put it in the chat box, that'd be great. Thanks, Cindy.
I have no idea how to. I may have to just leave the thing because I can't unrecord. I can't do. I don't even see chat box on here. Or
do my spiel all over again because there's so many new people today. Those of you who have been here before, you can just sit back and relax because you probably could say it for me at this point because this is the fourth and final week for our Summer Quest cooking program. So my name is Kathy and I'm the owner of Kitchen Wizards, and I've been in business for almost 19 years. And my background is in teaching and training, and I was the third grade teacher for your librarian, Miss Yacovelli, Miss Leanne. So a long time ago when she was a kid, I was her third grade teacher. So I'm happy to be here to do cooking programs every week. And this week it's all about rainbows. Everything we're doing is rainbow colored. So we're going to talk about rainbows, and in the chat box, you can answer if you have answers to any of these questions that I pose to you. But first, what I want you to do is in the chat box, we do this every week, but in the chat box, I want you to tell me your first name and a food that begins with the same letter as your first name. So why don't you go ahead and do that, and I'll read them all off as we get to them. So your first name and a food that begins with the same letter as your first name in the chat box. So we have Aaliyah Avocado, very good. Cambria Chocolate, Michael Marshmallow, excellent. I'm reading off what you're typing in the chat box. Jacob Jambalaya, Brooklyn Bananas. Okay, anybody else gonna chime in with your silly name? Your food name? Andrea Asparagus, Flynn Fried Clams. That's a different one. Good job, Flynn. Sam's Sandwiches. I love it. Anybody else? Okay, it looks like that's everybody. So happy to have you here, and we're going to get started with talking about rainbows. So in the chat box, you can type the colors of the rainbow. Let's see if everybody, oh, Kaylee's Kiwi, very good. Okay, how about the colors of the rainbow? Does anybody know all of them in order? I'll give you a hint. There's a name, Roy G. Biv, and the first letter of each color is in that. Roy G. Biv. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. Okay. So Kaylee's and Cambria, you missed indigo, but you know what? We don't use indigo. Aaliyah was really good with that. She must know about Roy G. Biv, but we don't use indigo in our cooking because that's all in our rainbow recipes, because that's almost black, and it would be kind of yucky to eat something that's almost black. So very good. So if you look at the words in the chat boxes, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet, it spells out a person's name, R-O-Y, middle initial G, last name B-I-V. So it's Roy G. Biv. So back in the ancient times when I was teaching third grade, that's how we would get kids to learn the colors of the rainbow. So in the chat box, I want you to put yes or no. Do you think that unicorns are real? Or no? Yes. Miss Tara says yes. So do Kaylee's and Cambria. Michael says yes. Jacob says no. Andrea says, of course. Okay, so I have never seen one, but I think they're pretty cool, and I would love to see one, and I hope that they are for real. So we're going to start with a dip, and it's a dip that you can use to dip fruit, graham crackers, vanilla wafers. It's not a savory dip, so you wouldn't dip potato chips or vegetables in it. So what you need for this is cream cheese, and we're not going to use all of it, so you also need a knife that the parents can use to cut the piece off that we need. You're going to need some sugar, you're going to need some yogurt, plain yogurt, vanilla extract, and that's it. Oh, and food coloring. So if everybody gets that together, give me a yes in the chat box when you have all that together. You'll also need a bowl that goes in the microwave, and you need a spoon, and you need measuring cups and spoons too. Okay, so it looks like everybody's prepared for our first recipe, which is awesome. Thank you so much. I'm seeing a lot of yeses. So what you want to do is, if you take your cream cheese out of the container, we need 6 ounces of cream cheese. Now, don't mind me that I'm going to do less because I live by myself, and it would be very dangerous if I made the full batch just for me to eat. Okay, but if you look at the label of the cream cheese, it has numbers on it, starting with 0 is the edge of the page, and then 2, 4, 6, and then 8 would at the edge of the wrapper, and 0, 2, 4, 6, 8. And you can see the 2, 4, 6. So you need 6 ounces. So you need to get a knife and cut through, going from the 0 end over to 6. So that's how much you need, 6 ounces. Okay, so everybody do that and put it in their microwave safe bowl. And I'm going to do half that much because I don't want to eat so much of the dip, even though it's really yummy. So we're going to put it into the bowl. And then I want you to put it in the microwave at full power for 30 seconds. And we're doing that so it gets nice and soft and mushy so that we can make the dip out of it. So it should be like Cool Whip. If it's not that soft, then I want you to put it back in for 15 more seconds. Remember, I used half as much as you. So mine might look a little softer, and it might not take as long to get it soft because it's less of it. Okay. Is everybody with me? Give me a a thumbs up if you have the ability to. Otherwise, give me a yes in the chat. Oh, good. Kayleese and Cambria gave me the thumbs up. And we have a lot of yeses and a lot of thumbs up. So that looks good. Okay. So next you need a half a cup of plain yogurt. We want it to be plain. It can be vanilla or it can be plain. But we want it to do that because we do not want a color in there because we're going to be tinting it different colors. So go ahead and do your yogurt and you scoop it so that it is the amount that you need. And only a half cup for you. Okay. So a half cup should be the next one to the full cup. If you have measuring cups that are stackable, like this, the biggest one is the full cup, then a half cup is next. So now we have yogurt and cream cheese. Doesn't sound bad, but it sure doesn't look like a unicorn yet, does it? No way. We have some work to do. Now, if it's lumpy and bumpy, you can either smash the side of the bowl with the spoon to get the lumps out, or you can use a whisk, a wire whisk. This is a whisk. So I'm going to use the whisk to make sure it gets nice and smooth. We have to put some sugar in it too to make it sweet. And we're going to put some vanilla in it too. So using the whisk, you have to go really fast and it gets smooth, really smooth. Looks more like whipped cream now. The next thing you need to put in is a half a teaspoon of vanilla flavoring. And if you don't have vanilla, that's okay. You can do it without vanilla. But let me show you with the nested spoons. Tablespoon is that real big one. The next one is a whole teaspoon, then a half a teaspoon, and then a quarter teaspoon. We want the half a teaspoon of vanilla. Do you like how much vanilla I have? Can you tell I do a lot of classes? So we want to pour it very carefully, half a teaspoon into the dip. You're also going to need 2 tablespoons of sugar. So remember I said the biggest one is the tablespoon. So you're going to put 2 tablespoons of sugar. And I'm putting half of that because I'm making half a batch. Then you're going to whisk it again. Make sure that the vanilla and the sugar get mixed in with the yogurt and the cream cheese. Andrea, what is that icon? I can't tell. That emoji. It's too tiny for me to tell what it says. Oh, a thumbs up. Okay. Thank you. So next you want to get 6 little bowls and 6 teaspoons. Because we're going to divide it up and tin it different colors. And actually, I think before, no, we'll do this all the way through. That's fine. I was going to say we'll do the dinosaur eggs, but we'll save them for when the dip is finished. Okay. Give me a capital Y if you're ready for the next step. Jacob, Aaliyah, Amanda, Andrea. Okay. Cindy, I'm going to assume that you're ready, that you're along with us, you and the boys, since you don't have access to chat. Okay. So it looks like 5 of you are. We're still waiting for a couple other answers, maybe. Okay. So now what you want to do is put 6 bowls out. Why do you think we're choosing 6 bowls? You can answer, it's 6 different bowls. You can answer in the chat box. Anybody? Why we have 6 bowls? To mix the colors, okay. So first we're gonna do all the separate colors. We don't want it to be all mixed into one, all the colors mixed into one bowl. So you're gonna take a spatula, and this is one kind of spatula. The other kind is the pancake flipper kind, but we want the rubber spatula. That's usually what people refer to that as. And you're gonna just eyeball it. You don't have to be exact, but you're gonna put some in each of the 6 bowls. And using the spatula, you can really scrape around the edges of the bowl so that you get every last bit of the dip out. This is going to look so pretty when we mix it all together. Okay, so I have mine. All separated. Now you're going to take the 6 spoons and put 1 in each bowl. And then you're going to take your food coloring. And this is where you learn about primary and secondary colors. So we already know the colors of the rainbow, but in the chat box, tell me what the primary colors are. 3 are primary colors. Anybody have that answer? Primary colors, red, blue, and yellow. That's right. You see that a lot with pre-K and kindergarten decorations because it is so bright and so easy because it's not mixing other colors. Now, I want you to tell me in the chat box, what are secondary colors? Tell me a color and what 2 primary colors mix together to make that color. Okay, orange is yellow and red mixed together. Purple is red and blue. Okay. Anything else? So we have red, orange, yellow. Green is yellow and blue. Okay, green, and then indigo. Blue, indigo, and violet. So that's the answers I was looking for. So if you have this kind of food coloring with a little drip, you can make, it has red, yellow, green, and blue. So actually has one of the secondary colors along with the primary colors. So you can do one bowl of each, red, yellow, green, and blue. And then what are we going to do to make violet, which is purple, and orange? I think you answered in the chat box. Orange is red and yellow mixed together. So you'll do a drop of red, a drop of yellow. And then purple is blue and red mixed together, a drop of each. Now you can make these as dark or as light as you want to. If you don't have the drippy kind of food coloring, you may have this kind. And for this, you need toothpicks so that you can take a little dab of it and put it into the bowl. So right now you're spending a few minutes getting all your colors just right and separate. So this is a liquid kind. So I'm going to put that in and just kind of smush it around. And that's purple. It actually has the purple color. And then I have red. So the other end of the toothpick. And I'm going to put red. And then I think I'll use the green here. And I don't seem to have yellow handy, so I can't do the rest, but I had such a little bit that I'm going to just spoon into the bowls that I already have food coloring in, so that I have 4 colors of the rainbow instead of 6. But you're welcome to do all 6 colors. And once you have it done, you're going to stir them all so that you get your different colors mixed together. And make sure you don't have any streaks of white. It should be all the same shade in each bowl. You shouldn't have any streaks of white or streaks of the color. So you have to really scrape the sides of the bowl and stir it up. So I have my blue. And if you did too much, there's not much you can do to fix it. But if you say, oh, I don't like it that light, I want it darker, tell me what you would do to make it darker. Add more, that's right. So if I said the purple's not dark enough, then I can add more purple to it. But I actually like that shade of purple. And I think I'm getting pretty much of the white scraped in. Do you see how I'm scraping around the sides of the bowl and scraping the bottom and making sure? And you may also have to use the spoon, your finger, to wipe the white off the spoon as well. And my last one. So did you notice that the red really comes out pink? And that's because you're mixing it with white, and white and red make pink. It doesn't make red. And I would recommend leaving it at pink, because if you put too much red food coloring in, or any kind of food coloring, but especially red and black food colorings have a really bitter taste if you put too much in. So make sure that you don't put too much in. Okay, when you're finished mixing and you have no white mixture left and your bowls are all separate like that, I want you to put RB for rainbow in the chat box. So we have three households that are ready. So RB, okay. Kaylee's in Cambria, gotcha. Andrea says ready. Okay. Autocorrect keeps making it Rob for some people. That's fine. I get the idea. Okay. So I think everybody's ready. So watch what I'm going to do now. Remember, I only have 4 colors. You have 6. I'm going to take a spoonful of each color and put it in different spots in the bowl. And then I'm going to keep repeating that, not putting the same color in the same spot. So I'll show you in a minute here. So do you see how I'm moving the colors around so that they're not right next to each other? So keep doing that. If you fill the bottom of the bowl and you have to put, stack on top with spoonfuls because you have more than I do and you might have a smaller bowl, that's absolutely fine. See how I put the purple right on top of the blue and pink? So just right now, you're not stirring anything. You're just scraping out your small bowls and putting the colors into the bigger bowl. And you want to get as much of it as you possibly can. Okay, so that's what mine looks like so far. We're going to make it look fancy now. This is where we get to the unicorn dip with the rainbow colors. Oh, that food coloring can get all over everything. The next thing you want to do is get a butter knife from your silverware drawer. Just a plain old butter knife. Okay, give me, in the chat box, give me a U, the letter U for unicorn, if you're ready. This is the only way, since I can't see your faces, this is the only way I know if everybody's keeping up with me. So give me a U when you're ready to move on. Oh, Andrea, you gave me a unicorn. I'm impressed. I like that. Okay, I think almost everybody's ready. Anybody not ready? You can type in wait if you're not ready. I'm getting all sticky. At least I don't have food coloring all over my arm. Okay, it looks like the gang's all ready. So what you're gonna do, watch me first, you're gonna take the knife straight up because you don't want to smear it too much. And you're gonna just move through all the colors, just like the number 8 maybe, and just move around and around until you get it to look like a rainbow. If you mix it too much, it's going to end up looking all the same color and it'll be a really ugly, dull color. The other thing that you can do is straight lines, and look how it gives that nice design. Okay. When you're finished that, you're going to sprinkle some fairy dust on the top. That's sugar. Just a little bit of sugar on the top, maybe a teaspoon. Okay. And then guess what? You're ready to eat it. We have another recipe to do, but if you need a snack, you can go ahead and take a taste of it. Let me know what you think in the chat box. So I have graham crackers here that I'm going to taste. Pretty darn good. Remember, no double dipping. In the chat box, I want you to tell me what you think of the look of it and the taste of it. Looks good or looks bad, tastes good, tastes bad. If you can stop eating long enough to give me an answer in the chat box. Michael says, yum. Looks magical. I agree, it does. I just love the colors. You can make it real pale colors or you can make them darker colors. Aaliyah said it's good. Looks beautiful and tastes yummy. Good job. That means, Andrea, that you and the kiddo did a good job then. If it looks beautiful and tastes yummy, because I can't see what it looks like. So I have to take your word for it, but I bet it does, because I really think this is a cool looking design to do it that way. Okay, I think we're ready for our next recipe. I want to make sure we get this done. So if you can type ready when you're ready for the next recipe, R-E-A-D-Y. Okay. Looks like Susan's household is ready. And so are the twins, Kaylee and Cambria, and Andrea. Your household is ready. And Jacob is ready, and Aaliyah is ready. Okay. How about Amanda ready? Okay. So now for this one, you need another 6 bowls, and you need your Jell-O powder. And if you don't have all 6 colors, that's okay. You don't need 6 bowls then. So first, before you're going to line up your 6 bowls and get your Jell-O powder ready. But first you want to wash your grapes, and you may need a colander to drain them off, but you want them still to be wet. Okay. You don't want them to be, you're not going to dry each grape. You want them to be wet. And then you're going to put 1 color of Jell-O in each bowl. And again, I'm not using the whole amount, because you can put the whole, all of the grapes and the whole package of Jell-O into your bowl. And it's very interesting, I think, that for some of the colors, they have different flavors of Jell-O. So red Jell-O, what flavor would it be? Anybody have an idea what flavor red Jell-O is? No? You're all busy rinsing off your grapes. It's always good to rinse off your vegetables and fruits that you get at the supermarket that are just kind of exposed, because they could have germs on them, but we really need them to be wet for this recipe to work too. So I have my 6 colors, and what is the color red? Red Jell-O, what flavors could it be? Anybody? Strawberry, that's good. Any other flavor? Cherry, okay. I don't think I've seen it any other flavor other than strawberry and cherry. Oh, raspberry, I forgot about that. Very good. Okay, how about orange Jell-O? What flavors could orange Jell-O be? Orange. There's another flavor besides orange that is orange colored. It's actually one of my favorite fruits. Peach. Okay, orange and peach. How about yellow? That's an easy one, I think. I think that only comes in 1 flavor. Ah, pineapple, is that yellow or is that orange, Susan? Yellowish, okay. What other yellow flavor would you have? Lemon. Banana. Oh, I've never seen banana Jell-O. I've seen banana pudding, but that would be interesting. That's true. I wasn't thinking about that. How about purple? Purple? Anybody? Purple Jell-O? Great. Good job, Flynn. How about green? Lime. Okay. Could it be anything else? I don't think so. That's the only one. I guess kiwi maybe. Watermelon, that's a pinkish color, isn't it? Green apple, that would be a possibility. Did I miss any colors? Blue. Oh, it's green and Jello for watermelon. Okay, good. How about blue? Berry blue. So what kind of berry is blue? You're right. That's what the label says, berry blue. Blueberry. Try saying that 3 times fast. Berry blue, blueberry. That's hard. So everybody has their bowl of wet, cleaned off and wet grapes. And you need to get a cookie sheet. Okay. So you need a cookie sheet with parchment paper on it. You don't have to have parchment paper, but it helps if you do. And then if you have toothpicks, it's less messy with toothpicks, but if you don't, you can use your fingers. And you're going to take a toothpick, stab one of the grapes, and then cover it. See, I think it's better without a toothpick. So you're going to cover it. And don't worry if it doesn't really look that color yet. We're going to put these into the freezer, and then the moisture will cause the color to come out. So you can do a few in the same color and then move on to the next color if you want, or you can just go around and roll them. And you see this one was really wet, so it's already turning a reddish color. And I have my blue, and I'm just going to keep going. So everybody do this. You want to coat all of your grapes. Make sure they're wet and coat them in the Jell-O powder. It's an interesting way to use Jell-O. Usually you mix it with water to make a dessert, but this way you're just using the crumbs, and it's very sweet too, by the way. I'm sorry. Good thing I'm not around you coughing. You'd think that I was getting sick. I'm not. The cool thing is when we put these in the freezer and they freeze, they get like a crunchy coating on them. And when you eat them, the grapes are frozen and they taste like grape freeze pops. So they're really good. So just keep going until you have your whole pound of grapes coated. And when you're finished, you slide the whole tray into the freezer. Now, to put it into the freezer, you just need to have the room, this much room. You need to have the whole area, but it can go on top of frozen chicken or whatever you have in your freezer, ice cream. It doesn't have to have its own empty shelf. So I'm going to put mine in the freezer, and that way when we're finished, I'll take mine out and you can see what it's going to look like when you put it in a bowl. Okay? So when you have them all coated and you put them in the tray into the freezer, I want you to put okay in the chat box. I'm expecting that it'll take you longer because you're using the whole pound of grapes. And by the way, we don't call these grapes. We call these dinosaur eggs just because it's a fun name. And here I go again. It's fun to call it dinosaur grapes, and dinosaurs and unicorns. They're all things that kids seem to like, and they involve lots of bright colors. Okay, Susan, do you have it in the freezer then? Okay, good. Okay. Andrea's household is finished. Good. Let's give a couple more minutes so everybody can catch up and put them in the freezer. And then I'll show you mine. It'll give mine a couple more minutes to get chilled. While we're waiting, for those who are finished, you can tell me, good, Jacob. You can tell me what's your favorite mythical character. Mythical means it's not real. Your favorite mythical character. Like unicorns, for example. Pegasus. Oh, dragons. Oh, Flynn and Michael both agree that dragons are their favorite. Okay. Now, the last thing before I get them out is I want you to tell me your favorite color. And each person in your house who's participating can give their favorite color. Blue. Jacob, me too. Green, Miss Tara. Okay. And Andrea, both of you love green. Very good. That's my sister's favorite color too. Yellow. For Michael, and Susan says blue. Purple, that's my second favorite color. Blue, blue, blue. I think we are in agreement on that, as you notice from my blue shirt. Blue and pink. Okay, that's good. How about the twins? Do you have the same favorite color, girls? Kayleese and Cambria, no? What are your favorite colors? Pink and purple. Okay. So you probably liked all the colors in the unicorn and dinosaur eggs, huh? So when they're frozen, and mine aren't quite frozen yet, but you'll get the idea. You're going to put them all together in a bowl, and you'll have rainbow grapes, which are also, now mine didn't get as coated as I would like. I guess I drained my grapes too much, but yours should have like a nice crispy coating on it with the different colors. And you can put it all in the same bowl and then munch on it that way. Okay. So you have been a wonderful group to work with. The new people, I'm happy to have that you joined in this week. And those who have been faithfully coming back every week, thank you. I've really enjoyed cooking with you, making treats with you. So I hope you enjoy the rest of the summer and good luck with the school year coming up. And I think Miss Tara has something to say now.
Oh, we just wanted to say thank you so much, Chef Kathy. These have been wonderful programs, and I know everyone has absolutely loved them. So thank you so much for your time, and thank you to our patrons for attending these programs as well.
Okay. Thank you all too. I see the thank yous coming in. That's great. If you like Kitchen Wizards programs, go to kitchenwizards.info, I-N-F-O, kitchenwizards.info, and you'll see the schedule of other programs that we have. But it's just been a blast being here with all of you. So thank you. Enjoy the rest of your summer.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Thanks.
See you soon.
Bye-bye. Bye.